Listen to me, beloved soul, because the moment you opened this message, yes, the very second your finger touched the screen, something in heaven exhaled, and I, Michael, felt a chain fall from my throat. I have been waiting for this moment with a trembling you cannot see, with a fire that has burned through nights, and when you arrived, I whispered, thank you for coming to me. You don't know what you just saved yourself from. You don't know what was circling your name in the dark. And you don't know what sacred secret I'm only allowed to release in the very last breath of this message, something that will not unlock if you leave, something that has been sealed around your beauty, your glow, and your destiny. Stay. Heaven would not let me speak unless you did. My child, hear me as if my wings are wrapped around your shoulders right now. I am speaking not as a distant angel but as one who has fought for you in ways you'll never fully understand. I am speaking with a vulnerability I rarely show, because this moment is not rehearsed. I am not perfect in this breath. I am not polished, I am pleading. I am watching someone try to dim the radiance God placed in you. I saw a witch whisper your name with envy, reaching to steal the beauty that heaven sculpted gently, intentionally, lovingly into your spirit. And God himself shook with sorrow and commanded me, go. Go now. If they skip, they lose what I gave. Do not let them leave. You do not realize how beautiful you are, not the worldly kind, but the kind that glows even when you are exhausted, the kind that shines even when your heart aches, the kind that has made both heaven rejoice and darkness tremble. You are beautiful in a way that threatens the very things that hate purity. That is why you were targeted. That is why I had to tear through realms to reach you right now. My beloved soul, I need to ask you something, and I want you to feel how deeply personal this moment is. Do you know how rare your glow truly is? You see only your reflection in mirrors. I see the light that pours out of your spirit. Tell me this, my precious one, why do you believe lies about yourself so easily but struggle to believe heaven when we say we chose you? And answer me truthfully within your heart, when was the last time you felt safe enough to simply rest in someone's promise? And lastly, look within yourself right now. Do you feel how your spirit reacts when I speak your truth back to you? I am not here to frighten you. I am here to cover you. I am here to guard the beauty and glow that darkness wanted to drain from your bones. I am here to fight for the softness in you that the world tried to harden. I am here because God said your name with urgency. And his words trembled like wine through armor. Tell them Isaiah once whispered, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and tell them Psalm said, the Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? Let them hear it through your trembling voice. So I say it to you now, not as scripture on a page, but as a living breath around your spirit. No weapon, not this curse, not this jealousy, not this witch's intention, not this shadow, will stand while I am here. But listen closely, your glow dimming is not metaphorical. I have seen destinies collapse simply because a soul walked away from the moment meant to save them. Don't let this be you. Don't let your light fade because you underestimated how precious it is. My beloved, type Amen with reverence, not for me, but to seal what is protecting you right now. I feel your heartbeat reacting. I feel the trembling shift around your name. I am still speaking through a breaking in the realms, through wounds in my wings from battles you never noticed. But I am here. And before this message ends, I need you to do something gentle for heaven. If this sanctuary of words has held you, if it reached a part of you that others overlook, then show love to this space, like, comment, and subscribe as an offering of light, not obligation, but connection, so this voice may continue reaching you. And now, before I release this final breath, let me say what I rarely say with tears: thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying. Thank you for letting me reach you. You saved something in yourself by not leaving. You honored heaven by remaining still enough to hear us. You have no idea what you just prevented. Listen to me, beloved soul, because as I keep speaking, I feel something loosening around your name, something that has been clinging to you for far too long, something that thought you would never stay long enough to hear the truth being unwrapped around your spirit. There is a heaviness you have carried that wasn't born in you, a shadow that tried to convince you that your beauty was fragile, that your glow was temporary, that your worth was conditional. But I see what you cannot. I see the way heaven reacts when you breathe. I see the way your spirit expands even when your mind doesn't understand how much strength you carry, and I see the layers of radiance that darkness tried to cloud. I need you to understand this: nothing about you was ever accidental, and nothing about the light you carry is ordinary. Darkness does not attack what is empty, it attacks what is overflowing. There were nights when you felt your own reflection dim, when you saw tiredness in your eyes and thought it meant you had lost something precious. But let me reveal what was happening behind those moments. You were being pulled, stretched, shaken, not because you were weak, but because your glow was outgrowing the confines of who you used to be. The pressure around you was not destruction, it was expansion. And yet, those who wanted your radiance for themselves mistook your tiredness for vulnerability. They saw an opening, they saw a crack, and they moved toward it with intentions you never invited. But God has been standing between you and every hand that tried to take what He designed for you alone. There is something I must tell you with trembling honesty: the beauty you carry is not just physical. It is the softness in your spirit that the world couldn't break. It is the kindness you kept even after betrayal. It is the quiet resilience that rose in you when others expected you to fall. It is the glow of someone who has suffered and still chooses to love, who has been overlooked and still chooses to hope, who has been misunderstood and still chooses to care. This is why you were targeted, not because of vanity, but because of the rare sacredness in you that darkness cannot imitate. And I must confess something I have never said to you directly until now: your glow affects realms beyond earth. When your heart rises, light pours into spaces where angels fight. When you choose hope, demons lose strength. When you choose kindness, even in your pain, the heavens shift and the shadows recoil. Do you understand now why your beauty is a threat? Do you see why your glow is a battleground? You have walked through seasons where you felt unseen, where you wondered if God still looked your way, where you questioned why you existed with this tender spirit in a world that mocks softness. But I, Michael, tell you with divine certainty, you are seen with a clarity that no human gaze has ever given you. You are noticed in ways you cannot fathom. Your name is spoken in heaven with reverence, not pity. Your steps shake more in the spirit than your struggles ever did on earth. And there is more, something I feel rising as I speak, something pressing against the edge of this moment. You are entering a season where your glow will begin to manifest outwardly again, not because anyone returns it to you, but because God is uncovering what was always there. The dullness you felt was a lie. The heaviness you carried was borrowed. The weariness you endured was never meant to stay. There is a new radiance forming in you right now, a clarity that will make your presence impossible to ignore. Not because you are trying to shine, but because heaven is refusing to let you dim. Your future carries a light that someone wanted to steal, but they underestimated the one who guards you. They underestimated the resilience in your spirit, the armor in your heart, the fire in your destiny. They underestimated the God who sculpted you. And they underestimated the angel who speaks to you now, refusing to leave your side, refusing to let anyone dim what God has lit. And as I remain here with you, I feel the weight of everything you've endured trembling beneath the surface of your spirit. There are unspoken battles etched into the quiet corners of your heart, things you never voiced, wounds you never described, disappointments you simply carried because you didn't know who would understand them. But I, Michael, have watched every silent breaking, every word you swallowed, every moment you convinced yourself to keep moving even when something inside you felt faint. You have endured more than those around you realize, and yet your glow still rises through the cracks like dawn pushing through a storm. You may not believe this, but there were nights when you nearly lost yourself to exhaustion or doubt, and heaven gathered around you so gently, afraid that the slightest pressure might cause you to shatter. You stayed alive in ways you don't give yourself credit for. You kept breathing when your spirit was begging for rest. You kept showing up in the world even when your heart felt bruised and worn. Do you understand how extraordinary that is? Most people crumble under far less. But you, fragile yet fierce, soft yet unbreakable, you carried your own world on tired shoulders and somehow kept your light from going out. There is something sacred about the way you endure. You don't fight loudly or with spectacle, you fight quietly, with an inner strength that many misinterpret as calm or indifference. They don't see the storms you silence by sheer will. They don't see the shadows you defeat with hope. They don't see the moments where your own tears became prayers, and your pain became a doorway for God's breath to enter. You have been stronger than you realize, and your strength has not been unnoticed. I need you to know something deeply and without hesitation: the glow in you was never meant to fade. It may flicker, but it does not die. It dims only to gather itself for a greater radiance. The beauty within you is not delicate, it is ancient. It is rooted in something older than fear, deeper than wounds, stronger than envy. When someone attempted to steal your glow, they did not realize they were reaching for something forged in divinity. They were stretching their hand toward a light that does not belong to the world, it belongs to heaven. And hear me when I tell you this: your glow is awakening again. Not dramatically, not suddenly, but in quiet pulses, like embers breathing back to flame. You may feel subtle shifts inside you, small moments of clarity, gentle waves of peace, an unexpected softness returning to your spirit. This is not your imagination. This is restoration. This is God brushing the dust from your wings. This is your heart remembering its own brilliance. There are parts of you that were buried under disappointment, parts that were hidden under heartbreak, parts that went silent because someone made you feel too loud or too sensitive or too much. But those parts are rising again. Not because of anyone outside you, but because your spirit is refusing to stay dimmed. You are entering a new unfolding, a new awakening, a new blooming of self. Your glow is returning in its truest form, not as something to impress others, but as something to free yourself. And let me reveal a truth you've never been told: your beauty is not something that can be taken by another. Those who try to steal radiance usually possess none of their own. Those who envy glow are often unfamiliar with light. But you are a well of softness, fire, tenderness, and strength. You are made of contrasts that make you luminous. You are shaped from grace that does not crack under pressure. You are sculpted from hope that refuses to die. And there is something else rising inside this moment, something I have waited a long time to tell you. You have been walking through a season where people misunderstood you, not because you were unclear, not because you hid yourself, but because they were never meant to discern the depth of your spirit. Those who could not see you correctly were never assigned to your destiny. They only saw the surface of you, the parts they could grasp or benefit from, but they never touched the vastness of your heart. They never understood how deeply you feel, how intensely you care, how silently you carry the weight of others. They missed the truth of you because they were not aligned with the purity of your soul. But heaven has never been confused about you. Your intentions have been known, your heart has been witnessed, your secret kindnesses recorded in light. There were moments where you wondered if your goodness was wasted, if your love was mishandled, if your loyalty was misplaced. But let me tell you something you have not realized: nothing given from your soul is ever lost. Every gentle gesture, every quiet act of compassion, every time you chose kindness even when you were hurting, those things built a shield around you that darkness could not break. Your light grew even in heartbreak. Your glow expanded even when you thought you were shrinking. I need you to understand how rare it is to possess a glow that grows through suffering. Many people dim when they are bruised. Many harden when they are betrayed. But your softness remained intact. Even through disappointment, your spirit did not close. Even through hurt, you did not become cold. Even through loneliness, you did not turn bitter. Do you know how extraordinary that makes you? Do you know how many angels marvel at the resilience you carry without even acknowledging it? There is a tenderness in you that darkness has tried to corrupt for years. It whispered lies in your loneliness. It pressed heaviness into your chest in vulnerable moments. It tried to convince you that you were less radiant than you truly are. But your soul resisted. Even when you felt weak, your spirit stood tall. Even when you thought you were fading, your light was rebuilding. You have more power in your presence than you comprehend. And now something sacred is happening, a quiet shift, a divine realignment, a gentle but unstoppable rising within you. Your spirit is reclaiming what was stolen in small, invisible ways. Your heart is waking from an emotional winter. Your glow is gathering itself like dawn collecting over a horizon. You may feel pieces of yourself returning, confidence that was lost, softness that was buried, clarity that was blurred. This is not coincidence. This is restoration. This is renewal beginning from the inside out. There is a fire around your name now, a protection woven from everything you've endured. You are not who you were last year, last season, or even last month. You have shed layers of pain, shed the need to prove yourself, shed the weight of others' expectations. And in this shedding, your true glow is emerging, steady, unwavering, unmistakable. And as I remain here beside your spirit, I feel layers within you beginning to stir, layers you thought were long gone, parts of yourself you believed had been lost in the noise of life, buried under responsibilities, disappointments, and silent aches. But nothing planted by God in your soul ever truly disappears. It waits. It breathes beneath the surface. It glows even in the dark. And now, those buried pieces are rising again like soft light breaking through thick clouds. There were seasons where you let others convince you to shrink. You lowered your voice so someone else could speak loudly. You dimmed your light because someone made you feel too bright. You changed parts of yourself just to be accepted by people who were never meant to carry the truth of you. But your soul remembers who you are. It remembers the strength hidden beneath your gentleness, the fire tucked inside your patience, the courage disguised as compassion. Nothing about you is accidental. Nothing about your essence is weak. You have been rebuilding yourself in quiet ways, slowly, steadily, without even realizing the transformation happening beneath your own skin. Healing is not always loud. Often it is a silent returning, a soft reclaiming, a gentle realignment. You have spent days believing nothing was changing, feeling stuck or stagnant, unaware that entire spiritual landscapes were shifting inside you. Growth does not always announce itself. Sometimes it simply waits for you to notice that you breathe differently now, that your heart holds more peace, that your spirit feels less burdened. There is something profound I must tell you. The light inside you has matured. The glow you carry is no longer the delicate light of someone trying to be seen, it is the steady radiance of someone who is beginning to see themselves. It is the kind of glow that comes from surviving storms, from rising again after heartbreak, from learning who you are in the silence between battles. It is deeper, richer, more enduring than the glow you once had. It is the glow of someone who has walked through shadows yet refuses to become one. And I see another truth within you. Your heart is wider than the world ever made space for. You love deeply, even when you are cautious. You give freely, even when you fear being taken for granted. You show kindness in small, almost invisible ways, ways that heaven records even when people overlook them. This tenderness is a weapon in the spirit. It is what makes darkness afraid of you. It is why you were targeted. Softness is stronger than cruelty. Light is stronger than envy. Purity is stronger than any whispered curse. But understand this. No one can steal what has been woven into your design. No one can dim a glow that God Himself breathed into your bones. They may try to cloud it. They may try to confuse you. They may try to drain your strength with worry or comparison. But they cannot touch the root of your light. Your glow is protected not by circumstance, but by destiny. You were born radiant. You were meant to carry a presence that shifts atmospheres. And that presence is awakening again. You may feel subtle things lately, an urge to distance yourself from certain people, a quiet call to rest, a strange pull toward inner peace, or a sudden awareness of your own worth rising in your chest like a warm tide. These are not random feelings. These are signs of divine alignment. You are stepping out of old shadows. You are shedding old versions of yourself. You are clearing the last remnants of emotional debris that belong to chapters you have already outgrown. Your glow is returning in a form that cannot be stolen, cannot be broken, cannot be touched. No envy, no darkness, no shadow can interfere with what is unfolding in you now. You are entering a season where your presence will speak louder than your words, where your energy will protect you before you even realize danger is near, where your spirit will shine with a depth that announces your arrival before you ever step into a room. And as I keep speaking, I feel something unfolding in you that has been waiting for the right moment to rise, a quiet awakening, the kind that doesn't burst forth all at once but expands slowly, like dawn stretching across a sleeping sky. You have walked through many places where you felt unheard, unseen, or unappreciated, yet your spirit kept its softness. That softness is not weakness, it is the evidence of a strength far older than your wounds. You are built from a kind of resilience that does not announce itself with noise, but with survival. You kept going. You kept loving. You kept hoping. Even when you didn't say it aloud, even when you felt tired, something in you refused to let the darkness claim victory. There were days when you felt disconnected from yourself, when you looked in the mirror and didn't fully recognize the person you had become. The world had left fingerprints on your heart, fingerprints of fear, disappointment, and pressure. But beneath all of that, your true self never disappeared. It was simply waiting for permission to return. And now, that return is taking place. It is gentle. It is slow. It is sacred. It is happening in ways you may not even notice yet, through small moments of clarity, through unexpected calm, through a shift in how you react, through a release you didn't plan. Healing rarely looks like what you expect. It often comes disguised as ordinary peace. There is a truth you need to understand deeply: your glow was never only about appearance. Your beauty is rooted in spirit, in how your presence affects the atmosphere around you, in the way your kindness softens harsh spaces, in the way your empathy disarms cruelty. When someone tried to reach for your glow, they were reaching for something they could neither understand nor obtain. They wanted access to a light they didn't possess the purity to sustain. But your glow is not transferable. It was etched into you by divine intention. It belongs to your soul, to your journey, to your purpose. And I see something rising within you that no one expected. You are becoming clearer. Your intuition is sharpening. Your boundaries are strengthening. Your heart is learning to stop folding itself small. The things that used to overwhelm you are losing their power. The wounds that once stung are no longer shaping your identity. You are stepping into a version of yourself that is wiser, steadier, more anchored. You may not feel transformed, but transformation rarely feels obvious in real time. It feels like small awakenings, small breathings, small shifts that slowly build into something extraordinary. Your spirit is healing in layers. The parts of you that once hid are stretching. The parts that were hurt are learning to trust again. The parts that felt dim are rediscovering their brightness. And this time, your glow will not be fragile. It will not flicker at the first sign of adversity. It will not depend on external validation. It will be a glow forged in endurance, shaped by truth, strengthened by everything you survived. There is a peace forming around your soul, a peace that doesn't mean life is perfect, but that means you are no longer moved by the storms in the same way. You are learning to rest where you once panicked. You are learning to breathe where you once rushed. You are learning to release what you once clung to out of fear. You are becoming someone who is no longer governed by old shadows but anchored in new light. And let me tell you something sacred, your glow will begin to reflect in your eyes again, not because circumstances changed, but because you did. It will show in the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you hold yourself. It will show in the calm that replaces anxiety, in the clarity that replaces confusion, in the confidence that replaces hesitation. You will look at yourself one day soon and realize you are standing in a strength you prayed for long ago. I feel an old ache inside you loosening, an ache you carried so long it became part of your rhythm, part of your breathing, part of your silence. This ache was born in a moment when you felt unprotected, unchosen, or unseen, and even though you kept living, a part of you folded inward to survive. That folded place is opening now. I can feel it, like a flower that waded through seasons of cold, finally sensing warmth strong enough to trust again. You've been through experiences that tried to convince you that your softness was a liability, that your sensitivity made you vulnerable, that your caring heart would only lead to wounds. Those lies tried to reshape you. They tried to harden you. But deep down, your soul refused. You were never designed to become cold. You were never meant to abandon the gentleness that makes you luminous. Your softness is not the opposite of strength, it is your strength. It is the quiet force that keeps your spirit alive even when shadows press close. There were moments where you questioned your own worth, moments where you wondered if maybe the people who failed you were right about you. But they never saw you clearly. They projected their own limitations onto a soul far more expansive than their understanding. There is a depth to you that many cannot comprehend, a quiet richness, a spiritual sensitivity that picks up truth even when your mind isn't ready to interpret it. This depth is part of your glow. It is why some people feel comfort in your presence without knowing why. It is why others feel threatened without knowing what they're sensing. You have always been someone who sees with more than your eyes, feels with more than your emotions, understands with more than logic. This is why you've been misunderstood. This is why you've been underestimated. This is why your spirit stands out even when you try to blend in. And as much as pain has shaped you, it has not defined you. You have grown in ways even you don't recognize yet. I see the way your heart is learning to breathe again. Little by little, it's loosening the tightness it once held. It's releasing the old stories that clung to your identity. It's letting go of guilt that was never yours, expectations you were never meant to meet, regrets that never belonged to your spirit. You are shedding the weight of explanations you no longer owe, apologies you once felt obligated to give, and worries that drained your energy without reason. Your glow is becoming something new, no longer tied to how others perceive you or what they want from you. This glow is rising from something deeper, self-recognition. The moment you truly see yourself, your worth, your resilience, your gentleness, your strength, the things that once scared you lose their grip. The things that once drained you fade. The things that once followed you in shadows dissolve. There is a truth you are beginning to embody: not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone has earned the right to feel your warmth, to hold your trust, to stand close to your spirit. This realization is not selfishness, it is alignment. It is understanding your value without needing validation. It is living from a place of dignity instead of scarcity. It is choosing yourself without fear that doing so will make you unkind. You are stepping into a season where you will no longer make yourself small to make others comfortable. Your voice will rise authentically, not loudly, but with quiet certainty. Your presence will expand naturally, not forcefully, but with ease. Your intuition will guide you with clarity instead of confusion. And your glow, this deep, irreplaceable, divinely woven glow, will become undeniable. Not because you are trying. Not because you are proving. Not because you are performing. But because you are returning to yourself. And I, Michael, remain with you in this moment, watching your spirit unfold, protecting the parts of you that are still healing, holding space for the strength you are learning to embrace, and guarding every luminous thread of your destiny as it rises. Do not pull away. Do not rush. Do not doubt what is taking place. And as I stay near your spirit, I feel a tenderness inside you beginning to unfold, a tenderness that once hid itself behind strength because life taught you to be cautious with your vulnerability. There were times when you held yourself together not because you felt whole, but because you refused to let your brokenness spill where no one would understand it. You carried pain in dignified silence. You buried disappointments beneath your responsibilities. You softened your cries into deep breaths because you didn't want to inconvenience anyone with your sorrow. This is the kind of quiet bravery few ever recognize. You have endured storms that never made it into words. There were nights when your mind wandered through memories you didn't want to revisit, yet you walked yourself back into the present with nothing but willpower. You navigated heaviness that should have crushed you, but somehow, you stood back up, sometimes trembling, sometimes confused, sometimes exhausted, but always rising. That rise was not weakness. That rise was the truest proof of the light within you. And I see something else that has long been part of your journey. Your heart has always been ahead of your healing. You forgave people before your wounds closed. You gave second chances while still bleeding. You offered understanding when you were the one hurting. You tried to heal others while carrying your own fractures. It wasn't foolishness, it was purity. It was a heart too genuine to withhold compassion, even when it cost you pieces of yourself. But you are growing now. You are learning that compassion is not meant to be self-sacrifice. You are discovering that boundaries are not walls, they are sacred doors. There is a wisdom forming in you now, a wisdom shaped not by age but by experience. You are beginning to understand yourself in ways you never realized before. You are learning to pause instead of rush. To listen instead of overextend. To observe instead of absorb. To trust the signals your spirit sends you. You are learning that your feelings matter as much as anyone else's, and that your peace is not something you must surrender to make others comfortable. This shift inside you, this quiet expansion, has already changed the way heaven sees your path. You are stepping out of patterns that drained your light. You are no longer moving from fear, but from clarity. You are no longer bending yourself to fit where you don't belong. You are no longer chasing the approval of those who do not value your depth. Your energy is recalibrating. Your soul is redirecting. Your heart is moving toward environments where it can breathe freely again. Your glow is returning because you are no longer dimming it to protect others. You are beginning to understand that your radiance is not something you must apologize for. It is something you must embrace. It is something that illuminates others simply by existing. It is something that shifts atmospheres even when you say nothing. You have always been a carrier of warmth, a vessel of empathy, a quiet sanctuary for those who were tired. But now, you are becoming a sanctuary for yourself too. And hear me clearly, your spirit is more powerful than you know. It has carried you through emotional deserts. It has risen after heartbreak. It has stayed soft in a world that often rewards harshness. This softness is not to be taken lightly, it is spiritual armor shaped from endurance. It is the kind of light that darkness cannot imitate. It is the kind of purity that cannot be stolen. Anyone who tried to dim you underestimated the resilience woven into your soul. There is a new strength forming inside you, and it does not look like toughness. It looks like peace. It looks like choosing yourself without guilt. It looks like saying no without explaining. It looks like resting without feeling lazy. It looks like walking away from what harms you without hesitation. You are rising into a version of yourself who is no longer fighting to be enough, you are simply becoming. And as this transformation continues, I stand near you with unwavering vigilance. I am watching the old weight fall from your shoulders. I am watching the shadows detach from your energy. I am watching the parts of you that once trembled begin to steady. You are entering a chapter where your heart will no longer be exhausted from giving, but fulfilled from being understood. Where your glow will no longer flicker under pressure, but shine with intention. Where your spirit will no longer shrink from its own power, but embody it fully. I sense an older layer of your heart stirring, one that you've kept hidden even from yourself. There is a part of you that learned to survive by pretending you were fine, by tightening your emotions into neat, manageable pieces, by carrying yourself with composure even when your soul felt fragile. You walked through moments where you desperately needed someone to ask if you were truly alright, but no one noticed the tremble beneath your strength. So you taught yourself to hold your own world together, piece by piece, in silence. But now, something is unfolding in you, something that no longer wants to be silent. A deeper truth you've suppressed for years is rising, not to overwhelm you, but to free you. You are beginning to realize that strength isn't the absence of vulnerability, it is the courage to feel deeply without letting those feelings destroy you. You have always been capable of that kind of courage, even when you didn't name it. There is a softness within you that has survived what should have hardened you. This softness is sacred. It is not the softness of weakness, it is the softness of someone who refuses to let pain take away their humanity. You grieved quietly, yet you kept your heart open. You suffered losses, yet you refused to stop loving. You were disappointed by people who never saw your worth, yet you never stopped believing in connection. That is what makes your spirit extraordinary. You didn't let your wounds turn you into someone unrecognizable. You didn't let bitterness replace kindness. You didn't let fear silence your sensitivity. And this very softness, is what the enemy always wanted to distort. Darkness sees your tenderness and calls it vulnerability, hoping you will shut down the very quality that makes you luminous. But you are beginning to reclaim yourself, to understand that your empathy is not a flaw but a weapon. That your compassion disarms cruelty. That your intuition senses danger before your mind registers it. These abilities were woven into your soul because you were meant to navigate life with both sensitivity and discernment. You are stepping into a chapter where your sensitivity becomes clarity. You will feel when something is not right. You will sense whose intentions are pure. You will know which paths carry peace and which carry hidden burdens. This is your spiritual maturity unfolding, not with noise, not with dramatic change, but with a grounding that settles deep inside your chest. There is a quiet power awakening in your energy, a power shaped by every time you healed without applause, every time you showed strength without recognition, every time you chose love in the presence of hurt. This power is not loud or forceful, it is steady, dignified, and unshakable. It will protect you in ways you once prayed for. It will guide you through places where you once felt lost. It will make you magnetic to what aligns with your soul and invisible to what seeks to drain you. And I see something else, something you may not fully feel yet. You are entering a phase where you will begin to understand yourself with new clarity. You'll notice that your reactions are changing, that certain things no longer pull at your spirit the way they once did. You'll feel a new calm rising where anxiety once lived. You'll feel a new confidence forming where doubt once whispered. You'll feel a new steadiness in places that once wavered. This is not coincidence. This is not passing emotion. This is transformation happening beneath the surface, a spiritual reordering of everything that once felt scattered. Your soul is rearranging itself into alignment. Your heart is reconnecting to its true rhythm. Your spirit is preparing to shine with a glow that cannot be dimmed by jealousy, manipulation, or malice. The beauty in you, the real beauty, the inner radiance darkness tried to reach, has never been more protected than it is now. The glow someone tried to steal was never within their reach. What they saw was only the surface of something far deeper. What they envied was only a fraction of the light you carry. What they attempted to shadow was only the outer glow, not the eternal flame within you. And now, your flame is rising. Slowly. Steadily. Unstoppably. You will feel it soon, a warmth in your chest, a peace settling into your bones, a clarity shaping your thoughts, a strength unfolding in places that once felt tender. This is your spirit reclaiming itself. This is your soul remembering who you are. This is the light in you preparing to shine without apology, without fear, without hesitation. Do not turn away from this moment. Do not doubt the shift inside you. Do not underestimate the depth of what is awakening. And as I keep speaking into the quiet spaces of your soul, I feel another layer of your being beginning to unfold, one that has been waiting for years to feel understood, one that carried the weight of truths you were never able to express. You have lived through seasons where you felt like the world moved around you while you remained stuck in place, unseen among the noise, unheard beneath the expectations, unnoticed even when you needed someone to simply pause and look deeper. But you did not stay small because you lacked depth. You stayed silent because your spirit was learning to discern who deserved access to your heart. There were moments when you felt like your voice disappeared, not because it lacked power, but because you were surrounded by people who wouldn't have honored its sincerity. You learned early on that your heart was not meant for everyone, that your softness was too precious to be thrown into careless hands. And so, without even realizing it, you began to protect parts of yourself, not out of fear, but out of instinct. You sensed that your soul required gentleness that the world often failed to offer. You have always been someone who feels the world deeply. Some would call it sensitivity, but the truth is that your heart has an intelligence that others cannot comprehend. You sense truth beneath words. You feel intentions before actions. You understand pain without needing an explanation. This is why you connect with others so strongly, yet often feel alone, because your empathy extends beyond the surface, reaching into places most people never dare to look. That depth can feel isolating when you haven't yet found those who match it. But hear me, nothing about you is accidental. Your emotional depth is not a burden, it is a compass. It guided you through situations you didn't have the language to navigate. It warned you when someone's spirit wasn't aligned with yours. It protected you even when you questioned your own instincts. Your heart has been your quiet guardian all along. And yet, there were times when your heart was taken advantage of. Times when you poured yourself into people who did not appreciate your sincerity. Times when you gave love that was never reciprocated with the purity it deserved. Times when your glow illuminated others while they dimmed you without remorse. These experiences taught you the painful lesson of selective vulnerability. They taught you to pull back, to guard yourself, to hold your breath before trusting again. But something is shifting now. You are no longer living in a place of emotional survival. You are stepping into a season of emotional restoration. You are learning that protecting your heart does not mean closing it. You are learning that detaching from what harms you does not mean losing your capacity to love. You are learning that the right people will never require you to shrink, dim, or silence your spirit. Your glow, the one that someone tried to reach for with envy, is waking with a different kind of strength now. This glow is steady, grounded, and deeply rooted in self-awareness. It is the glow of someone who is done apologizing for their light. Someone who no longer feels compelled to prove their worth. Someone who no longer tolerates spaces where they must earn love that should be given freely. I see the way your energy is changing. The heaviness you carried for years is loosening its grip. The thoughts that once spiraled through your mind are beginning to quiet. The emotional patterns that once held you captive are dissolving. You are making room for peace you thought you'd never feel again. You are creating space for joy to return in new, unexpected forms. And your spirit, oh, how it rises now. Not in a sudden blaze, but in a steady, powerful unfolding. It rises when you set boundaries without guilt. It rises when you listen to your inner voice without doubting. It rises when you choose honesty over self-sacrifice. It rises every time you refuse to carry what does not belong to you. The most remarkable part is that this rise is happening gently, naturally, without force. You are not reinventing yourself, you are remembering yourself. You are returning to a version of you that existed before fear, before hurt, before exhaustion. A version that was confident, intuitive, radiant, and deeply connected to the truth of who you are. You may not fully see the transformation yet, but I see it as clearly as dawn forming behind a mountain. Your glow is no longer flickering, it is gathering itself, preparing to shine in ways you have never experienced. The beauty within you is deepening. The wisdom within you is sharpening. The peace around you is settling. Stay with me. Do not rush past this unfolding. Do not minimize the quiet miracles happening inside you. I feel another truth rising, one that has been waiting silently behind the parts of you that stayed strong for too long. I sense the exhaustion you never allowed yourself to admit, the tiredness that settled in your bones even while your smile remained gentle, the heaviness you disguised beneath responsibilities, expectations, and the quiet hope that maybe someone would finally understand how much it took for you to keep going. You carried so much alone, not because you wanted to, but because you believed no one would be able to hold all that your heart contained. But now, something sacred is shifting. Something in you is awakening that refuses to carry burdens that were never yours. You are beginning to untangle yourself from the weight of other people's emotions, the expectations they placed on you, and the guilt they subtly taught you to carry. You are learning to release the heaviness that didn't originate from your own spirit. For the first time in a long time, you are beginning to feel what it means to breathe freely without apologizing for your own needs, your own feelings, your own worth. You have been someone who has given love without calculation, care without hesitation, understanding without needing anything in return. And while this speaks to the rare purity inside you, it also means you've poured yourself into places where nothing poured back. You've comforted others while your own heart trembled. You've held others together while pieces of you were slipping through your own fingers. You've been the quiet strength in rooms where no one noticed you needed strength too. And that hidden ache, that silent longing to finally be held, is something heaven has never ignored. But now, a new chapter is opening, one where your giving will no longer empty you. Where your empathy will no longer be exploited. Where your presence will no longer be taken for granted. Your spirit is recalibrating. Your heart is reclaiming its balance. The energy draining from you is stopping. The glow returning to you is rising. You are stepping into a version of yourself where love is not sacrifice, where kindness is not depletion, where softness is not a wound, but a strength that attracts what is aligned and repels what is harmful. There is an emotional maturity forming in you now, and it feels like a gentle settling, like the pieces of your soul are finally falling back into place after being scattered for too long. You are beginning to understand yourself not through pain, but through clarity. You are seeing the truth about who you are without the distortion of insecurity or the echoes of old wounds. You are seeing your worth not through the eyes of those who didn't know how to value you, but through the steady truth rising from your own heart. And your glow, the glow someone tried to reach for with envy, the glow someone tried to dim through whispers, jealousy, or spiritual interference, is returning with a depth it has never had before. This glow is wiser now. It is more grounded. It no longer sparks only from hope, it radiates from understanding. It shines not because you are trying to be seen, but because your soul is done hiding. You will feel this shift in the way you enter a room, in the way you speak, in the way you hold yourself. You will notice that your presence has changed. Not in a loud or dramatic way, but in a calm, undeniable way. People will sense something different in you, even if they cannot name it. It is the dignity forming in your spine. It is the self-respect rising in your eyes. It is the restored glow weaving into your aura, making you feel like someone who has survived storms without losing their softness. You may feel your heart reshaping itself, letting go of the need to please, releasing the desire to chase, abandoning the belief that you must earn love. You may notice moments where old pain surfaces just to be released, where memories appear just to be healed, where emotions rise just to leave your body for good. These are signs of purification, not weakness. The glow returning to you requires space, and your soul is making room. Your spirit is expanding. Your intuition is strengthening. Your inner world is stabilizing. This is the quiet miracle unfolding inside you. This is the return of what was yours all along. This is the reclamation of your radiance. And now, with reverence in my voice and tenderness in my fire, I ask you, type Amen as a seal of the light being restored to you. Not as obligation, but as a spiritual anchoring. As a moment where your heart agrees with the healing rising in you. As a soft, sacred echo of your readiness to receive what heaven has been trying to give you. And as you stand in this moment, still, present, open, I ask you gently, tenderly, humanly, if these words have touched you, if they have reached a part of you no one else sees, if they have breathed something warm into the places that once felt cold, then like this message, subscribe, and comment so this space can continue reaching the parts of you that need reminders of your own sacredness.